Well, how's it going, everybody, and welcome back to Project Time Tech. I started a series a while back which involved collecting the little ultra portable UMPCs. I'd like to get one from about each generation. I started with the Toshiba Libretta CT50, and we got it up and going and in pretty good shape. And since then, I've actually bought a couple more. I bought the Libretta CT70, which technically isn't of a different era, but it was already running Windows 98. And since my other Libretta was running Windows 95, it only made sense, a 95 and a 98. So I was out perusing eBay the other day, unsupervised, and you know what that leads to, right? Well, I came across this. This is a, in its original box, Sony, I think it's a VGN-UX380. So this will represent my Windows Vista entry into my little collection. It has an issue that we're going to have to resolve today. It only charges via the dock. So we're going to have to work out what's going on with the power port, which will probably involve disassembling it and some soldering and maybe even a hammer and some heavy equipment. And in the end result, we will either have broken it way worse or it will actually work. Or maybe nothing will happen. I don't know. We're going to find out. I wanted one of these machines when they were new. And I want to say this was around, what was it, 99, 2000, 01, somewhere in that neighborhood. I really wanted one, but they were way outside of what I could afford. And they're a little bit pricey today, maybe a little pricier than possibly they should be. But either way, this one was a pretty good deal because it didn't charge. And anytime you can find something that's broken that you can fix, there's value there. This is the Sony VAIO UX380N. This little machine sports an Intel Core Solo processor at 1.33 gigahertz, a gig of DDR2 memory, a 40 gig 1.8-inch mechanical drive, as well as Bluetooth, Wi-Fi, and cellular connectivity via Singular, now AT&T's, Edge network. And it's running Windows Vista Business. I bought this particular machine because it had the original box, along with all the accessories and all the paperwork that came with it originally. And I just think that is really cool. As far as ports, buttons, and features go, there are quite a few for a machine this size. On the top, we have the camera button and a Sony memory card slot. On the left side, there's a USB Type-A port along with the SIM card cover. The right side doesn't have anything really of interest, since the battery is the only thing that lives over here. On the bottom, we have the currently broken power port, the dock connector, and separate 3.5mm jacks for headphones and microphone. The front, well, that's where all the action is. On the top right, we have the mouse nub, which feels really nice. You could probably use this all day long, provided you have that much battery power. There are dedicated zoom in and zoom out buttons, which basically just leverage Windows' built-in zoom feature. Really handy for tiny screens. And we have the power hold button. Power is self-explanatory, but hold puts the unit into power saving mode. Basically a deep sleep. On the left side, we have the left, right, and center mouse buttons, along with a dedicated button to enter Sony's VAIO Touch Center, which contains a nifty little touch-friendly page for things like internet, email, music, photos, and so on. On the bottom, there's a hardware switch for controlling the wireless card. For even more connectivity, there's an included dock, which contains a 16-volt power input port, a 10100 Ethernet port, 2 USB 2 ports, a VGA out port, a 1394 FireWire port, another USB 2 port, and an AV out port. Also, the screen slides up to reveal a very complete keyboard. Although I probably wouldn't use this to write my college dissertation. Okay, now that we've met the little fella, let's take a look at the actual problem it has with the charging port. Let's get it on the bench, get it disassembled, and see what we got going on. Well, here's the problem that we have with this machine. It charges fine on the base with the included AC adapter. But when you plug it in down here, it doesn't even plug all the way in. So something in here is there's either something in there or it's broken, one of the two. We're going to get involved in this and figure out a little more about it. So let's get this thing apart and see if we can diagnose and or repair what's wrong with it. Well, I guess the first thing we'll do is get it powered off. Let's go ahead and undock it. We'll get our docking station set out of the way. And I guess we probably should go ahead and let's get the battery out of it just to be sure we're safe. All right. Well, I think maybe the first thing to do is just have a look inside this port and see if anything is evident. I can tell you right now it's not. It looks awfully okay down in there. I can't imagine why this this connector is not going in. Let's get some small bits out here. Also, if you guys haven't seen this, if you guys haven't seen these things, these little Aeromax screwdrivers, they're electric like screwdrivers and battery powered, rechargeable. This thing has really been handy for doing stuff like this. It's just so much faster. I'm going to put an Amazon link down there if you guys are interested in it. They come with just tons and tons of bits and this neat metal case here. And when you push it, it clicks in like a with some like a drawer sort of. Pretty cool. Anyway, enough of that. I am just trying to see if there's anything down in here that would be preventing this from plugging in. I don't see anything right off. Yeah, this whole port seems loose to me. Yeah, I think we're gonna have to investigate further. There definitely appears to be something hanging in there. All right, we are taking it apart. How do you take it apart? I think it's going to be see a screw, remove a screw. I think that's the game we're going to play here today. Go ahead and remove the stylus too. Is that all we need, or I wonder what's under this? How about a screw? Also see something right here that looks suspiciously like it's hiding screws. Yep, that's a screw. I figured it wouldn't be hiding anything. It would just be something that makes you take off there. I want to pull these rubber bumpers off and just see what's under them. Oh, look at there, more screws. Okay. Hey, that one's already got a screw missing. I didn't take that one out. Somebody's been here. First piece. Ooh. Well, I guess these are next, huh? Guess that's the wireless antenna. All right, now what has to come off? We got to be getting closer, right? I think this may have something to do with it. Well, it certainly is springy. Better keep my finger over that or we'll lose it. Oh, it's SIM card. Okay, SIM card slot. That's progress. Yeah, there's going to be something over here, isn't there? I'm assuming under this label right here, it's probably going to be something in it. Maybe right here. Survey says. Yep. All right, is that better? Oh, that's way better. Okay, we are very much opening this thing up now, but what do we have to be aware of? Looks like just some sticky goo appears of some sort. What that is. All right, the back is off. This is what I'm actually after right here. It looks like it's just on a piece of flexible circuit board. Kind of, I guess I can't believe they did that, but they did. The screw is stripped, and that wasn't me for a change. Let's see if we can get it out of there. Yeah, we can. I have a feeling the hard drive is going to have to come out of here too. Okay. All right, what's involved in this? Just sticky or something else? Actually, I think a lot of this stuff comes out of here. Maybe as one unit, I don't know. I'm sure there's a teardown guide, but I kind of enjoy kind of working with this stuff and trying to figure out how it's held together. I really do. So if we try to lift this, I know there's going to be more to it than we see. Here we go. We're getting somewhere. All right, so I have a couple of connectors here. I have one here. I have one down here. And I have one back here that looks to be the type you lift the flap up. It is. And unplug the ribbon cable from it. There we go. Like that. So that's got that part pretty well free. I bet there's more. I'm sure there's more. There is more. There appears to be a... Oh, all right. Hey, we're free. Look at that. Oh, that was way easier than I thought it would be. Anyway. Oh, yeah. Oh, that does... maybe. I don't know. Can't tell if that's good or bad. But either way, it's got to be worked on. I think what I'm going to do is I think I'm just going to unsolder this connector completely from this board and just get it out of the way. Okay, I think that's the best course of action at this point, and I can see what's going on with the connector and all that. I wonder if I can get this. No, I can't. All right, yeah, let's get a soldering iron, heat it up. All right, so you got the soldering iron pretty well heated up. I'm going to try just a little bit of flux here first and just see if that loosens it up. Flux is kind of hard to push. And I'll use a good old-fashioned solder sucker. I got to be really careful with this board. I don't want to destroy it or damage it. Now let's put a little more solder on there and see if we can get that to work a little bit better. That worked a little bit better. Okay, that should be better. That should get us closer anyway. Pulling it out. All right, and we're free as a bird now. Let's put this aside because I'm reasonably certain our problem is right here. And the fact that this won't plug into here, but I don't know what exactly is the problem with it. I'm going to pull this center conductor out of here, and then we'll try to plug it in and see if it'll go. It still won't. What about this conductor? Can we pull it out too? Yes, we can. That one. Will it still go in or no? No. You know what? I wonder if this is the wrong plug for this. Wouldn't that be something? If this center barrel is just a touch too big to go in this hole, that would be hilarious. So I'm going to do what every redneck in the world would do, and I'm going to try to. It's called waller. I'm going to waller that out a little bit. I believe another good word for that would be ream it out, otherwise known as enlarging the hole just a titchy touch to see if we can get some love out of it. Okay, I've made some headway. I've figured it out. I took this thing completely apart, and I was trying to measure how deep the charger was going in before it stopped, and then I realized something. Look at this. I believe that is supposed to be one of those that maybe has fallen off or something. I don't know. But either way, that was in the bottom of this, so now it goes all the way in and seats no problem now that I've wallered it out, and now it's loose and sloppy, but it's okay. Let's put it back together. I'm actually going to spring these tabs open just a little bit. Whoops, while I'm here. Give them a little bit better chance to seat. Alright, I have that solder back together and everything is back in it, and kind of curious about what happens if we plug it up. It looks pretty good. Definitely isn't, it snaps, has a nice little satisfying snap when it goes in, so I feel like that's going to be okay. I feel like we can go for reassembly now. While the hard drive is out, this is a perfect time to go ahead and upgrade to an SSD. Hopefully that'll give us a little bit of boost in performance, since this thing kind of lags. Luckily, I happen to have a couple of 1.8-inch drives already in my stash, so there's no reason not to do this now. This one has a small chip out of the connector, and hopefully that won't affect it. To connect the old drive, I'll use this ZIF to SATA adapter, and I'll leave an Amazon link below for this, and this external drive to USB adapter, also from Amazon, and I'll leave a link for that below as well. And we'll connect it to this nifty old Panasonic Toughbook CF18 running Windows XP. To create the image, we'll be using an older version of Mailbox Reflect. Once the drive is connected, we'll have a look at disk management to be sure it shows up as expected, and it does. I'll see a recovery partition at the beginning, and our active boot partition is there at the end. We'll open up Mailbox Reflect, and we see disk 3 there, which is our drive that we're going to recover. We'll right click it and we'll create an image. We'll choose the desktop, which is where we put everything. We'll browse out to the desktop, and that's where we'll save it because that's where you put everything, right? We'll leave the defaults there and go next. And finish. Now we don't want to save this back up, so we'll uncheck this. We're only going to run it once. Okay. And we're off to the races. Once this drive has been imaged, we'll go ahead and disconnect it, and we'll connect up our new drive. Once that drive is connected, we'll go ahead and jump back into disk management, and we see that the drive has appeared as expected. We'll go ahead and jump back in Make Room Reflect, and we'll choose Restore and Restore Image. Next, and we'll choose the desktop, which is where we saved the original one. We'll choose the recovery partition first and go next. And then we'll choose recovery here, the first partition on the drive. We want that one to be all the way to the left. And we'll go next. And we'll choose disk 3, which is all that unallocated space because there's nothing on it at this point. Check mark there, and next. We'll choose a primary partition because we're not booting from this. And we'll leave it at 6.8 gig size. Next. And we're just basically going to next through everything except here. We're not going to check integrity because, no sensitive data. Next there. No thank you. And replace a master boot record. And basically nexting and finishing our way all the way out. And once again, we wait. Once this process finishes, we're going to go ahead and do the exact same thing with the primary partition or the active partition, the boot partition, the one that contains all of our data. That one's going to take significantly longer to process, so we'll just wait longer. Now it's time for some reassembly, starting with moving these things over from the old drive to the new drive. Uneventful. Next, we'll attempt to pull these and put them at their corresponding places. That's out of the way. Now, this right here, somewhere like this. This is open. At this point, we should be able to plug our battery back in, turn it on, and see what we get. And as we can see, the machine is booting up. Excellent. Good job. At this point, we can reassembly it completely and totally until the batteries are dead in the color. now that the machine is completely back together, let's boot it up and restore it to the factory image. We'll do this using the backup and recovery option located inside of VAIO Help. This time we're going to choose VAIO Recovery Center. After a considerable amount of time has passed, the system finally reboots into the original factory image of Windows Vista. Also, I went ahead and took the liberty of removing all of the bloatware and extra software from this system, including Norton AV, since it's pretty old at this point and it's not really going to do us any good anyway. Now, with all that done, it's time for the first official boot with the new SSD and power plug repair completed. And the first obvious thing is that it boots so much faster now thanks to the SSD and the removal of all the bloatware. Overall, it's much snappier and way more responsive than before. So, that completes this project and also serves as the Windows Vista entry into our collection of tiny handhelds. If you didn't see our first video covering this libretto, you should go have a look at that. Also, make sure to subscribe to this channel for upcoming content as we continue to add to our ultra mobile PC collection, plus a whole lot more coming as well. Well, I hope you guys enjoyed this video. And until next time, thanks for watching.